It was a crisp autumn evening when my friends and I decided to embark on a road trip that would forever haunt our memories. The leaves had just begun to turn vibrant shades of red and gold, and a sense of adventure filled the air. Our destination, an isolated cabin nestled deep within the woods, a perfect setting for a weekend getaway. Little did we know that the road to our destination would lead us down a nightmarish path we could never have imagined. Our group consisted of 5 close friends: Sarah, the adventurous soul who had organized the trip; Mark, the thrill seeker always eager for a new experience; Lisa, the skeptic who scoffed at the idea of anything supernatural; Alex, the quiet and observant one; and myself, the storyteller of the group. As we set out in our trusty old van, laughter and excitement filled the vehicle. The winding road through the forest seemed enchanting in the twilight, the setting sun casting eerie shadows on the trees. We played our favorite tunes and indulged in road trip snacks, blissfully unaware of the ominous events that awaited us. Hours passed, and the forest grew darker and denser. The GPS signal on our phones faded away, leaving us solely reliant on the old paper map Sarah had brought along. With each passing mile, the atmosphere inside the van grew more tense. The narrow road seemed never-ending, with no signs of civilization in sight. Mark, always the one to break the silence, said, "Are we sure this is the right way? It feels like we've been driving forever." Sarah, though trying to maintain her composure, couldn't hide the unease in her voice. "According to the map, we're on the right path. It's just taking longer than I expected." Just as Lisa was about to voice her doubts, a strange figure appeared in the distance. It was a man, dressed in tattered clothing, standing motionless on the side of the road. As we approached, we could see his hollow eyes and disheveled appearance. "Should we stop and ask if he needs help?" Alex suggested, his voice trembling. Sarah hesitated but eventually pulled over. We all watched as the mysterious figure slowly approached the van. His breath misted in the cold air as he extended a bony hand towards us. "I'm lost," he mumbled in a raspy voice. "Can you give me a ride?" Against our better judgment, we agreed to let him in. As he climbed into the van, a shiver ran down my spine. There was something undeniably off about him. The air inside the van grew heavy with an inexplicable dread. We continued down the road, and the stranger's presence seemed to cast a pall over our group. He muttered incoherent words under his breath, and his gaze never left the window. We tried to make small talk to ease the tension, but his responses were vague and unsettling. Suddenly, he turned to Sarah and said, "You're going to regret coming this way. This road. It's cursed." His words sent a chill through our spines. We demanded to know more, but he only shook his head and continued muttering. It was then that I noticed his reflection in the rearview mirror. His eyes glowed with an unnatural, eerie light. Panicked, Mark slammed on the brakes, and we all scrambled out of the van, leaving the stranger behind. As we fled into the dark woods, we heard his chilling laughter echoing behind us. Lost and disoriented, we stumbled upon an old, dilapidated cabin deep in the forest. Desperate for shelter, we entered cautiously. The interior was in ruins, and an unsettling sense of foreboding hung in the air. Ours turned into a sleepless night as we huddled together, listening to strange noises outside. Shadows danced on the cabin walls, and whispers echoed through the rooms. We were not alone. As dawn broke, we decided to leave the cabin and find our way back to civilization. Miraculously, we stumbled upon our van, abandoned on the side of the road. The stranger was gone, but his ominous warning lingered in our minds. The road trip had taken a nightmarish turn we could never have anticipated. To this day, we wonder who that mysterious man was and what malevolent force lurked on that cursed road. One thing is certain, we'll never forget the disturbing road trip horror story that became our own terrifying reality.